Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, Nick and Lex. And this is another video of music with Nick. I wanted to thank Jose for making this marathon happen. Thank you so much for sponsoring it. And I couldn't be happier. We're going to do only Black Sabbath in this marathon. And I don't know, it was always a thing that I guess I was into Metallica and Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and Megadeth and all these heavy metal bands, but I never got into Black Sabbath for some reason, because also, like we've said before 100 times in our videos, it was just not accessible. I do remember around, I think it was 2004, a friend of mine did Burn Me a CD by Ozzy Osbourne with Randy Rhoads on it, and that was pretty amazing. But it's not Black Sabbath, you know. It's just it's Ozzy Osbourne doing his own thing. But yeah, here we have of course, the great Tony Iommi with his demonic riffs, and I can't wait to do this. So and I'm very excited, as we have like talked about this before in our, I think, last 3 videos, that we're gonna see Guns N' Roses and Iron Maiden on the 6th of October, Alexia's birthday. On the 7th, we're gonna see Ozzy Osbourne and AC/DC, and then on the 8th, we're gonna see Metallica and Tool. So yeah, amazing. I'm so excited. I know this is, he's not gonna play this stuff, but this is very exciting to do. So thanks again, you know. So this is all 1980 and 1981 Black Sabbath. So if there's any kind of changes on vocalists, I will probably notice. But this is Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell from 1980. We're gonna do Heaven and Hell, the title track, Wishing Well. We're gonna do Die Young, and then we're gonna switch to the next album, Mob Rules, Country Girl, and Falling of the Edge of the World, 1981. So here we go. Thanks again so much, Jose, for making this marathon happen, and I'm super excited. So thanks again. Here we go, and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, and here we go. Got myself some coffee, even though it's 5:30 in the morning. And who needs coffee with Black Sabbath, you know? But I got some coffee and I'm ready to go. So thanks again, everyone, for watching. All you Black Sabbath fans, all you fans of Nick and Lex, thank you so much for being here, and let's enjoy. Let's do this. Here we go. Yeah.
Do me wrong, you're a bringer of evil. The devil is never a maker. The less that you give, you're a taker. So it's on and on and on. It's heaven and hell. Oh well.
Ronnie James Dio, oh my god, amazing voice. It's just so crazy how much it sounds like his own work, but that bass line, oh man. Let me just check really quickly. I'm gonna continue listening, but it sounds very familiar. If I've done this before, I'll add another song at the end, okay?
The lover of
I couldn't. You know what happened? So I haven't done this before. I checked in on the channel. I typed in Heaven and Hell, Black Sabbath. I did some of this album, but not this one. It just reminds me so much of Holy Diver. It's the same. I think it's in the same chord progression. Dun, 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 dun. I think. I don't know. I think they're playing it. I think it's A, an A. This whole thing goes in A, if I'm not mistaken, because that's pretty much. Then it switches to usually to A, and then what would it be? I need my guitar, but yeah. But I'm pretty sure I haven't done this before. If I have, I'm terribly sorry, but I wouldn't remember. It just sounds so much like Holy Diver, but in a good way, you know. But yeah, I did check on the channel, and it's but that I did rewind here a little bit because the solo is coming in. So let's continue. It sounds amazing. But guys, just let me know what you thought. I mean, to all you Ozzy fans, I mean, when they started, you know, I think they started in '69. Throughout the 70s, and then when this happened, when suddenly Ozzy left the band, and then we have Ronnie James Dio in the band, what was the your, you know, what did you think, you know, like I mean, I didn't really live this, but I remember when I bought my first Iron Maiden albums, I heard them from beginning, you know. I heard Iron Maiden and then Killers, and I was enamored. And then suddenly Bruce, you know. And so I didn't really like Bruce at the beginning. I was like, oh, I don't know. I like the first singer is a little bit more aggressive and brutal, especially on Killers. So yeah, let me know what you thought when that happened. Okay, let's go.
Dance on, and it's on and on, on and on and
Tomi Iommi really like, ooh, beautiful. Some Baroque here, music. Yeah. Reminds me of King Diamond here. Beautiful. The whole thing. It was a little bit tricky because it did sound a lot like something I'd heard before, because Ronnie James Dio is just so it's so like his voice is so iconic, and he uses the voice pretty much always the same, you know. It's not that he sounds the same, but it's just his style is so strong that when you hear one song, you know, you could mistake it for the other one, but and the riffs, you know, but the solo, man, was amazing. Tomi Iommi on the solo, and then this beautiful acoustic guitar outro. I really loved it. And I did check real quick here while I was listening. I did a Black Sabbath marathon for Narvik and some time ago, and it was Heaven and Hell, but the album, that's the only thing. But it was another track, so I'm very happy that I hadn't heard this before. But just give me 1 second, I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. So I just wanted to check something. So I did do a marathon for Greybeard some time ago. I think it's almost like a year ago, and this one did get blocked. Usually some of Black Sabbath does get blocked, but usually more. I think this was an older one. It was only Ozzy. So let's see how this goes. There's also some Black Sabbath that I've done, especially this album, which is basically being monetized. So that's kind of weird. I just looked it up, and so just in case if it gets blocked, I'll put it up on Patreon, and I'll send you a link, of course, Jose. But I don't know. You know, it's a gamble with Black Sabbath. It's a gamble. Sometimes it's okay. Like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Black Sabbath reactions, and all of them are fine. Only one is the marathon, but this is all Black Sabbath. This is super early Black Sabbath. First album, second album, third album. So maybe that might be the problem. So let's see how this goes. But anyways, I'll if it gets blocked, I'll send you the link privately. But of course, you know, the end game is to have it on YouTube so everybody can enjoy it. But pretty much everybody can see all the Black Sabbath videos except this one here. That's for some reason it's only blocked in the States and Canada, but everybody else can see it. It's, I don't know, it's super weird. But I think this one is up on Patreon for people to see. Okay. All right, so let's continue with the second song, and that's Wishing Well. Here we go.
Think of a
Okay, now I'm looking up, of course, the album, and it is Geezer Butler on the bass, and also we have here, what's his name? Bill Ward on drums, and you can really hear, like, I mean, the bass is so much more. I mean, from the early Black Sabbath that I've heard, this is just musically just more like adventurous, I think. I could be wrong because I do have to listen to a lot of old Black Sabbath, but I just noticed that Tomi Iommi is way more adventurous on the guitar. The solos are very clean, very quick, and he doesn't do like this is like what he does in a lot of old Black Sabbath, that he solos on one channel and then he solos on the other channel, and he kind of like intertwines these solos. He stopped doing that, and it just sounds a little bit more the studio work sounds, of course, 80s, like a little bit more influenced, I guess, from other bands, what they were doing, maybe Judas Priest, that also go back to 74, like mid 70s, and started the dual guitar thing. I don't know. I just think that they just sound a lot tighter than in the first Ozzy stuff that I heard, which is also great. Not the Ozzy stuff, the Black Sabbath stuff. It just sounds great. The bass is all over the place, really, really beautifully, and very tight. And I love that this is basically the original musician lineup minus Ozzy, just with Ronnie James Dio. Really cool. I think I keep saying, yeah, I keep saying that correctly, I hope. Okay, let's continue. Here we go.
Make you a dream. You find the life's not always what it seems. No, no. Love isn't money. It's not something you buy. Let me fill myself with tears to cry. I'll give you a star so you know just where you are. Someday,
See what I mean? I mean, you guys know this, but I think just Tomi Iommi, he just got a lot better, like throughout the years, and you can really hear it, Not that he wasn't an accomplished guitar player when he started in Black Sabbath, but as a guitar player myself, I can hear the difference, I can hear, I know how I played when I started, and I know how I play 10 years ago, and I know how I play now. So it's really good. Really nice passages, really cool. Mostly pentatonic licks and stuff, but still, man. I mean, there's still great bends, great tension, great stuff. So, okay, now this is the last song of this album, and then there's another change that I looked up here. But basically this is going to be somebody else. There's a cool way of when you look up in Wikipedia, you can just switch to the next album, and if you look at the personnel, there was a change here. On the drums we have Vincent Appice, or Appice. I think Appice. I think it's Appice because it's not, there's no accent on the A. But he's an American rock drummer. All right. Appice. He's Italian. He's Italiano. Okay. Well, yeah. So I guess that's, I don't know if he left for good, the drummer. But we can see that on the next album even here. Born Again. This is when Ozzy came back after. And let's see. Oh yeah, he came back. So basically, oh no, Ian Gillan. Ian Gillan from Deep Purple joined the band. Okay, that's kind of crazy. I didn't know that. Deep Purple joins Black Sabbath. Okay, what happened then? What a trip. Oh, then we got Glenn Hughes on vocals. Wow, what a different like lineup. And so I guess I don't know when Deep oh my god, when Ozzy joined back to Black Sabbath, but I'll guess I'll figure it out later. Okay, this is the song Die Young. Here we go. This is amazing. It sounds literally like Iron Maiden. Bum 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 doodle doo doom doom doodle diddle doodle 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 doom. Like Iron Maiden, I guess, started doing this way early with like Phantom of the Opera and Genghis Khan and very kind of like proggish, songs. I mean, with Number of the Beast as well, Invaders is very, dum, dum, dum. I don't know, but it sounds like it's so cool because it is Black Sabbath, and I don't know who influenced who. Of course, Black Sabbath influenced everybody else, but at this point, it sounds very Iron Maiden, which is very cool, you know? I mean, and there's no competition. They're both freaking amazing. No band is better. I hate getting into those arguments. I think they're musicians are musicians and they all love each other. And they, hey, when they're backstage, you know, partying and stuff, and they all influence each other. So I just find it so cool to hear Black Sabbath that I can say, hey, it does sound a little bit like Iron Maiden, you know? Cool. Let's go.
No smile, there's danger and no promise to be told. You'll never get old. Life's fantasy to be locked away and still to think you're free. You're free, we're free. So live for today, but tomorrow never comes.
Die young, can't you see the writing in the air? Die young, gonna die young. Someone stopped the fear.
So good. Oh man, this was great. Okay, so now we're switching to Black Sabbath Mob Rules. This is where they changed drummers, and but it's still Dio on the vocals and Tomi Iommi on the guitar, and what's his name? I have to learn, I have to learn the guys who are in the band, just like we did with Yes, all the changes and crazy stuff. Let's see here. No, this is the wrong album. Born Again. Here we go. One more. Mob Rules, and we have Geezer Butler as well. Yeah, still. So only Vinny on the drums replaced the original drummer, who then came back. Crazy. With the singer from Deep Purple. Who knew? This is, I it's just, history. So here we go with Country Girl. Here we go. Let's see if they changed anything in their, you know, the sounds. It's 1 year later only, so here we go.
Fell in love with a country girl, morning sunshine. She was up from another world, just to bust another soul. Her eyes were an endless flame, holy lightning. Desire, what a special name, made to snatch your soul away. Yeah. We sailed away on the crimson tide, gone forever. Left my heart on the other side, all to break their hands to bits. A smile was a winter song, all summer's ending. Don't sleep when you find me gone, just an image in the air. In dreams I think of you. I don't know what to do with myself. Time has let me down. She brings broken dreams, fallen stars, the endless search for where you are. Now fell in love with a country girl, morning sunshine. She was up from another world, just to bust another soul. Her eyes were an endless flame, unholy lady. Desire, what a special name, made to snatch your soul away. Don't sail away on the crimson tide. Don't leave your heart on the other side. Your eyes are an endless flame. Ooh, desire, what a special name. Don't ever fall in love. Don't give your heart away. No, never, never fall in love with a country girl.
Okay. So I do hear a different, I mean, now I know, but it does sound like a different drummer completely, and I do hear a lot of John Bonham. I hear it, even the kit sounds like John Bonham. It's just like dum, dum, bum, dum, bum, dum, bum, 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 bum. I don't know. It's just like I know Zeppelin so well. I listened to Zeppelin for the majority of my life. I know all the albums. I listened to the solo just on Coda, I don't know, 100 times, and I'm not a drummer, but it just sounds a lot like Bonham. I don't know, and that's a good thing, you know. It's when I play guitar, I don't know. I mean, in one solo, I use licks from I don't know, maybe 10, 15 guitar players, and then my stuff that I came up with. And it's never a bad thing to borrow a little bit of sound or technique, because Bonham had such perfect technique and was such a good drummer. So it's not a bad thing to say that he sounds a little bit like John Bonham. I mean, maybe some people could disagree with me. That's no problem. But it just sounds like him a little bit. That's just my opinion, though. So, this was Country Girl. Falling of the Edge of the World is the last one we're going to do today for Jose. Thank you again. This has been a blast. And just like, the cool thing is, because I have been, on Wikipedia the entire time, because I don't want to sound too dumb when I talk about this amazing, legendary band. But unfortunately, I am not really well versed on Black Sabbath, so I do need a little bit of support to actually know what I'm talking about. But hey, what a band, what a sound, what a time, to listen to metal, and can't say enough good stuff about them. I mean, everybody's on their A game, even without Ozzy. They wanted to make music, and they were making great music. So okay, so last track, here we go. Let's see if that drummer still sounds like John Bonham to me. Not just John Bonham, just the technique, just the sound of the kit. Here we go. It's electric violin here.
I think about closing the door, and lately I think of it more. I'm living well out of my time. I feel like I'm losing my mind. I should be at the table round, a servant of the crown, the keeper of the sign, to sparkle and to shine.
this was amazing. So there's one song that I've played obviously in bands to death, and that is The Trooper by Iron Maiden. I think every band plays that song, if you're into heavy metal. And I've never really heard a song that I could say, hey, maybe this song inspired The Trooper, you know, that. I mean, it was a different lick, but it was just, it had a little bit of a feeling, and the bass was I don't know, a little bit of Rothschild there. I don't know, maybe, you know, these people, of course, influence each other, and I'm sure Black Sabbath was a huge influence on Iron Maiden, and then maybe back at them, you know, like throughout the years. I don't know, who, if they were listening to other bands, if they were just making it up. I know that Black Sabbath, when they came out, they came up with everything, you know. So there was nobody else kind of like telling them. But now it sounds a little bit more, you know, this sounds a little bit more up to date. I mean, 1980, it doesn't sound, the distortion is just heavier. The solos, even the solo, Tomi Iommi, he sounded literally like, just an example also, like Dave Murray sounds a lot like Tomi Iommi. Now that I listen to Tomi Iommi, a lot of legato, like these hammer and pull-offs, very fast legato hammer and pull-offs, solos. That's pretty much Dave Murray's style, and I never really noticed that Tomi Iommi has literally the same skill, you know. It's like really cool to discover. So man, thank you so much, Jose. This was very interesting because it is a marathon, a Black Sabbath marathon without Ozzy, all these changes, but the style also is just very, very heavy metal of that time, like what I'm talking about. Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. And I'm gonna, like, I guess I'm gonna keep it there because it just sounds like the new wave of British heavy metal, you know. It doesn't sound anything like Metallica or Megadeth. That was a totally different style that was more like thrash. This is just heavy metal, plain old good heavy metal. Beautiful, man. I loved it. Such great songs. The singing of Dio is so operatic. It's so well done, and everybody here is on their air game. The bass was just fantastic. The list to the drums on this track, it didn't really get my attention that much. There was a lot of like, you know, hi-hats involved and stuff, I guess. But this was great. Thank you so much. I hope you do enjoy, everyone. I hope it doesn't get blocked. I'll find out in about 20 minutes when the video renders and everything. But I hope they don't block this. And then I think I'm just gonna warn people, if they request Ozzy, Black Sabbath, that's the one that does get blocked, unfortunately. I guess it's like a deal they have. I don't know, the record companies, you know, they have their own system. So let's see what happens. But thank you so much, guys, for being here. Thank you for enjoying. Leave comments, whatever you know about the bands. You know, you can, of course, you know, disagree with me, no problem. Let me know what you think of this Black Sabbath, of these two versions apart from the original, and then what came after, and what would you recommend I listen to next. Thank you, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.